Welcome to another episode of the Canadian Maker Project. My name is Ron, and today we have a devilish plan for you all. Today we are going to look at some filament. Everyone's PLA marble. And our two subjects, we're going to call them the Ender 3 and the CR10, are going to put this filament to the test. So get ready, we're gonna have some fun. Hi everybody, welcome back. So, a little tongue-in-cheek there, but I want to give you guys that, it's Halloween, come on, we gotta have some fun once in a while, right? So anyways, what I'm holding in my hand right now is the PLA from Eryone. This is a marble PLA. I want to test it out to see if it's going to work out well. Now, this thing has been known to be out of spec a lot of times. Now, granted, they have changed printer companies from what I know. A lot of people kind of said it was Sulin that was doing it, or some other third-party company that doesn't have the same parameters that they did. I don't know. I can't get any. I have not been told anything. But I wanted to test this out. I wanted to say, hey, does it print as good as they say it does? Or does it not? So I picked up a roll through Amazon, and I wanted to test this out. Now, the question I have is, well, if you're going to be testing it, how are you going to see if it's in diameter? Well, that's where the problem comes into play. I only have calipers. The proper way to be testing any filament size is with a micrometer. At least that's what everyone has told Brian Vines. If you've not seen a Brian Vines video about this filament, I'll have a link somewhere in the description, or card will pop up. But anyways, just keep in mind is that when Brian contacted them, they told him that he needed a micrometer. A micrometer is a tool that allows you to test the diameter of filament. It's a little bit more, has a wider test field. So, you know how your calipers have a thin area to test? This has a little bit wider, and it sits in the center, and then you just tighten up a knob. And once you tighten it up, it will tell you what the spec is. Now, I don't have one. They're about $50. I don't have the money to spend on it, but when Brian Vines tested it, he found it to be way out of spec of the 0.5, which they give this. Sorry, 0.05. So, looking at that, I want to test this out and see if I get the same results. But I want to first run this a little bit. I'm going to do a tower test. I'm going to check it all out. And I'm going to give you guys my review. But I want you guys to keep in mind that throughout all of this, I'm going to be taking time to take out the video, jump in if there's a problem, and talk about it. But I want you guys to understand is that I did receive a discount picking this stuff up for a review. I was contacted by one of their guys, asked me if I was interested in trying it out. I said, actually, no, but I'm interested in this brand, and they gave me a little bit off. But I'm going to give you guys an honest review. So, want to get that out of the way. So, why don't we get into testing this filament? We'll see how it turns out, and, maybe it's gone better. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to try their other filaments, including their rainbow, and see if I run into any problems with it. But until then, let's go into this review, have a look at this filament, and see how it performs. Welcome back, everybody. So it's been about a week or so since I've did the first half of this video, so had the different t-shirt and everything else. But I want to talk about some of the prints I got off the Ender, and I'm going to talk about the CR10 in a moment. But first, let's talk about the Ender. This is the first vase I did on the Ender. Turned out really nicely. Had a little problem with the bottom. I didn't get the right amount of leveling on that, but got that corrected with the other two prints, I think. And I'll go into that a little bit more. But This print turned out really nice. I did a temperature of about 200 Celsius, and I went with a 0.4 nozzle with a layer height of 2.6. That was just to factor in, if I can get it a little bit faster. I did speed up the nozzle a little bit. I think I was doing at 70 millimeters per second, which probably was too fast. And I've noticed that might have been a little too fast. I might have been better off going at 60, but I thought, let's go a little bit faster because the filament can't support it. But in turn, it didn't turn out well. But there's a little bit of gapping on layer lines, and yeah, that was my fault completely. But all in all, the vase turned out beautiful. Minor little bit of minor tweaking I would have to do to get this to print fully sharp. This turned out marvelously beautiful. Second print, where I kind of adjusted it a little bit better, gave me a nice bottom finish. This is the Moe. You see these on Easter Island. You've probably seen a couple of them on Thingiverse. This one turned out really well. This one required no support. So this was a kind of will this print as good as it with or without supports? Well, it printed out fairly well. I did notice a few little issues. Around the nose, there's a little bridging that goes downward, which was kind of a little weird that the filament was going like this on the top of the nose. I did notice some ringing on one side of the ear, but on the other side of the print there wasn't any. I think it's just maybe the light or the way it's reflecting off of it. It does look like there's a little bit of ridging going on here. But then again, this is marble PLA, so you're dealing with three different colors. You're dealing with a white, you're dealing with a gray, and you're dealing with black, all mixed into one. So it can leave some type of weirdness on the factor of the print. Now, layer lines are pretty well more tightly on this one, so that turned out really well. And as always, I go with a Benchy. Why? Chris Riley loves Benchies. Come on, we all know that. Chris Riley loves Benchies. But I wanted to print out a Benchy just to get an idea of stringing and see if there was anything that I should be aware of. After printing the Benchy, I noticed I got a little bit of stringing inside of the area here, and it was just a tad bit stringing inside. But all in all, it turned out really nicely. There is an issue on the bottom. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like a setting I had turned on by accident gave the bottom not the greatest finish, and I'm not really happy about that, but it still has that mirrored texture. So I do know that there was a flat bottom on it. It's just the way it printed. It's a little off. Not like when you print with like a white color or a green color that's a solid color, you get a better result on the bottom. But I got a good result on the bottom, and I think it's just because I was using a certain type of filament, marble PLA. And I just think that's because of the coloring of the marble PLA. I could be wrong on this, but I'd like to hear your results if you have this. Or if you printed any marble PLA, have you printed a Benchy? Have you noticed any weirdness on that? But like I said, these were printed at 0.26. Now, I could have printed these at a 0.1 layer height, and I could have printed it at settings that would have been more perfect for it. But because of time constraints, and I know that the editing I would have to do for this video was going to be taking longer than normal. So, comes to more complaints about the reel. And these are just nitpicks. And honestly, I could be out of line on these, but these are the nitpicks that really got me going here. Number one, the label. Way too big. Guys, I understand about advertising, but you guys are covering every single hole that I need to poke the filament through. I had to take a X-Acto and I had to take a knife and cut through it to put my filament through so I can hang it somewhere. Are you guys expecting me to use a whole roll of this? Honestly, I would not be able to use a whole roll. I'm very conservative when I do my printing. So here I am, I'm peeling back the label, trying to find the holes so I can poke my filament through so I can tie it back. Once I was able to do that, it's great, but once again, maybe a label a little bit tighter inward, not so big on the front, so we have a way to poke it through. That was my only gripe about this filament. Now, this filament is more on the expensive end. It's about $32.99 I pay in Canadian dollars. So it is a more expensive filament. Do I recommend it? I had to bring with it and say, yeah, it's not bad print. It's not bad filament. There's none of the issues like a lot of people were saying. I did not go through it with calipers, but like I said, I had no jamming going on. And at the time, I just went, well, I'm not going to worry about it. So let's move it over to the end, to my CR10. That's where things got fun. CR10 had an issue, which I was not aware of. And it happened, and the nozzle clogged up. The heater block, right here, gunked up. And right there, I don't know if you guys can see it too clearly, but right in there is my thermistor. Got jammed in the block. So I didn't know there was a filament leakage until after I basically had to take it apart. Found out there was a leakage. And the whole block was harder than a rock. So I had to disassemble it. Took me a couple days to disassemble it. And I got a new heater block and a new thermistor in. Just came in a few days ago. I just haven't had time to actually go back, cut, solder, and replace wiring. But once that is done, I will do a review. I will call it the look back at Eryone PLA on a CR10. And see if we get the same problems. But until then, the CR10 is kind of like sitting in the back here, crying a little bit. I know what you guys are going to go say. What? You haven't got your CR10 working again? It was working. It was printing like a beast. And then the nozzle is somehow clogged up again. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to have to fix that and get that working. But can I recommend Eryone PLA right now? Yeah, I can. I also did some tests with a Bowden tube and just slid it through the Capricorn, pulled off a whole bunch, sliding it through, and then slided it out of the Capricorn. And it seemed to go in with smooth without jamming or gunking up or anything like that. So I'd say, yeah, Eryone PLA has been pretty good. So it's nice to see that, you know, there's another filament that I can buy that I can trust. Well, anyways, everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you do like what I'm doing, you know, you can hit that thumbs up. You know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe button. And if you feel kind enough, you can definitely check out our Patreon. Links are in the description down below, as links to each of these models. You know what? Just to give you guys one more time, these are my opinions. These are what I ran through. I have not been paid by everyone to say anything about it. I've just did the review, looked at it, had some fun printing with it, put up my thoughts on Amazon, you know, just to let people know what I thought of their stuff. But all in all, I have to say, Eryone PLA, I'll give it another shot. So I'm going to try to go, maybe in a few weeks, I'll pick up a Roll Rainbow. We'll go give that a shot and we'll see how it performs. And like I said, thanks for watching. And yeah, happy printing.